up on that roof, we were fighting, and then, like I've said, it went black. My name is Dane Fonte-Carbone. I'm from Smithsburg, Maryland. I joined the United States Marine Corps in 2003 during high school after the events of 9/11. I was deployed to Ramadi, Iraq as a machine gunner until I was wounded and extracted from the rooftop. This is my story. Probably wasn't the most responsible thing in the world for us to both be up there, but it was a pretty heavy moment. We've lost we got over the radio in another building. We lost a man that was very close to our platoon. His name was Joshua Frazier, one of the greatest men I've ever witnessed in my life. And I was honored to meet two people named Joshua, and that's why my son bears his name. So I thank those men for giving me the strength and giving my son the strength of their name. I'll tell their story till I die. But yeah, so after losing Frazier, me and Pitcher on that roof, we looked each other in the eyes and made a pact almost that I could just tell. We just looked at each other. We weren't leaving that roof. We knew what we were doing. We set our intention. And our intention was to keep every single person that was left in that building safe. And if it had to risk us, we both knew we were okay with it. And that's what we did. So, heavy fighting. The enemy would throw up, you would hear fuse pops of grenades, which we would then dive into a little staircase, wait for the fuse to pop, explosion, come back up, reestablish fighting position. We used periscopes. You would be ducking and you have a periscope, so you see an enemy, you'd pop up and hit it. And up on that roof, we were fighting, and then, like I've said, it went black. After the blast, so basically while up there, where I can't recall the time, because like I said, it would go all day. We were up there fighting. I had a Mark 32 grenade launcher, 6 grenades in 6 seconds. We called it Samson, street sweeper. So I would be suppressing fire with that, and he'd be firing. And Josh, I can remember being down. I remember the world stopped and went dark. I remember standing up. I remember hearing Fonte, the distortion of sound. My ears were ringing. I couldn't breathe good because I had so much blood on my face. I didn't know if my head was there. I knew I was hurt, but I knew I was alive because I was standing up. The adrenaline takes over at that point. You don't have time to know how bad you are. My first instinct was to look for Josh as he was looking for me. And then being wounded, that was essentially the easy part. So after being hit, like I said, there's no timeouts. I stand up, and to get out at this point, you have to realize we've been trapped in a building, not trapped, but fighting from a fighting position that wasn't, we had people that were wounded or that were killed that couldn't be extracted. So considering the fact that me and Josh both were so wounded, to get out a 7-ton, 7-ton is basically it's a big truck that has huge walls that are bulletproof, but the top is open. So he's unconscious, I believe, at this point. I'm up against a wall getting tourniquets applied to me on my arm, my leg, my eye, and getting up there. After that moment of being in darkness and coming up, the fight wasn't over. We had to get out of there. I had a great team. The guys knew what to do. They patched us up. I'm sure it was hard for them to see their team leaders hurt, just as much as it was hard for us to know that we weren't in the fight anymore. And that was still a hard thing to think about. We didn't want to be off that roof. We didn't have a choice. But to get Pitcher out there, I just remember we had to fight. There was no help. He was in a sheet. Me and a corpsman, I believe I can't remember. Doc Corleone, I believe his name was. The memory's a little faded. I was hit by a grenade. But yeah, so we get him up there, and he's in a sheet. You throw him up in there, and then I remember crawling into my own wheel with my rifle, and you're just sitting there alone, me and him. And his first words at this time, he doesn't know the extent of his injuries. He looks at me and, "Fonte, are you okay?" I say no. I look at Josh. I say, "Josh, are you okay?" He says no. And even in that moment, I feel like we found some humor. Both of us bloodied in the back of a 7-ton after fighting, being blown up in a foreign country. For Josh, this was, he was accustomed to this. He's already been wounded before in another battle of Fallujah. And still to this day, just his soul around mine, I believe, is what kept me going. Made sure he was safe. We got him in there, and we both got out. And that ain't on accident. Me and this man didn't experience that together. We didn't live on accident. Every person involved didn't live on accident, and that was in that particular firefight. That experience is it's meant to be told. We didn't come this far to only come this far. It feels good to be able to tell this story in hopes to inspire or help people understand some of the intense situations that come from war.